This just in, LaMelo has denied trade rumors.
Open to a trade, so I saw you repost.
Yeah,
You reposted. What are your thoughts on that?
You never heard that come from me, so source is not from me, so it's false info. Gotta let them know. I really don't like commenting back on stuff, but when it get too big, you gotta say something.
So, are you content here?
Yeah, I love being here. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just trying to win. That's it.
LaMelo Ball is one of the most uniquely gifted young guards of his generation. When on the court, the 6'7" guard displays elite passing vision, deep shooting range, and creativity. He is a full package, not just in terms of skill, but in terms of star power. During the 2020 draft process, the youngest Ball brother confidently told reporters, "I'm born for this." He wasn't lying either. He has a rare blend of size and skills that front offices and GMs absolutely obsess over. This season, the flashy playmaker is averaging 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists, even with his efficiency dipping to 39% from the field. When LaMelo is healthy, Charlotte becomes one of the most entertaining teams in the league. According to StatMuse, the Hornets' offensive rating is 112.9 with LaMelo on the floor compared to 108.8 when he sits. But this is where the story gets complicated, because for all of LaMelo's natural brilliance, the biggest question surrounding him isn't about talent, it's about availability. Here's the problem. He hasn't been on the court enough to turn talent into wins. LaMelo hasn't played more than 60 games in a season since his second year in the league. The one season he played 65-plus games, he was selected as an NBA All-Star. Since then, the Hornets have shut him down due to injuries for 3 straight years. In the 2022-2023 season, he missed 46 games due to a fractured right ankle. In 2023-2024, LaMelo missed even more games. The Ball brother missed 60 games for injuries to the same right ankle he fractured the year before. In the following year, the 2024-2025 season, LaMelo was shut down once again with injuries to his ankle and wrist. He has played in 241 out of a possible 417 career games up to this point. Someone in his camp needs to get him in touch with Steph Curry, who famously reinvented his training and biomechanics after chronic ankle issues early in his career. When your franchise player is available barely half the time, it affects everything. It stalls development, it disrupts chemistry. It keeps the team locked in a cycle where each season feels like a repeat of the last. And in Charlotte's case, it's especially painful because the organization hasn't made the playoffs since the 2015-2016 season, back when LaMelo was a freshman in high school. With the Ball brothers as the centerpiece, the Hornets have hovered between rebuilding and retooling, never fully committing to a direction, and never building a roster strong enough to support him. Still, LaMelo is a superstar. He has been in the spotlight since Chino Hills. At one point in high school, he was as popular as LeBron James and OJ Mayo, with highlight reels going viral every night. His celebrity didn't begin with the NBA. The NBA simply gave him a bigger stage. He's been a household name since he scored 92 points in a high school regulation game at the age of 15. Scouts and GMs always saw the talent, but they also raised questions about his maturity, defense, and shot selection. Reports later surfaced explaining why the Timberwolves passed on taking LaMelo with the number 1 pick. During his team interview, when asked what he wanted to do after his playing career, LaMelo answered, "I want to be the president of the United States." Minnesota genuinely didn't know whether he was joking or not, and they weren't convinced he was taking the interview seriously. They ended up drafting Anthony Edwards, which turned out to be great. He's now averaging 26.5 points this season and is one of the top 5 players in the NBA. LaMelo, on the other hand, has become a different kind of star. His talent is undeniable, but so is his status as a global brand. Puma saw it early and built an entire signature line around him. He's now on his 5th signature shoe and has one of the top-selling sneakers year after year. He ranked 12th in NBA jersey sales, which is staggering for a player on a small market team and even more impressive given how many games he's missed. Because LaMelo isn't just a point guard, he's a marketing machine, he's a signature athlete, he's a social media phenom. He is in many ways the identity of the Charlotte Hornets. So the question becomes, how do you evaluate a player whose availability hurts your chances of winning, but whose star power keeps your franchise relevant? This is the dilemma Charlotte faces. On one hand, LaMelo's talent and ceiling are legit. When he's healthy, Charlotte becomes at the very least a play-in team. On the other hand, the Hornets have been stuck in the same place for years. No playoff appearances, no major leaps, no clear direction. The Hornets are reaching a point where they must make a decision whether to keep the star who hasn't been the most reliable or resetting the franchise, trading him for some draft picks and building around Knople and Brandon Miller. His trade value is still near its peak. His value may never be higher than what it is now. He's still young, and there are several teams that can make a move for the young, talented point guard. A couple teams that come to mind are the Clippers, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Trailblazers, and Rockets. Those teams could put together compelling packages to acquire Ball in a trade. For Charlotte, trading LaMelo would mean hitting the reset button, collecting assets, and finally committing to a real rebuild. But it would also mean losing their most marketable player since Kemba Walker. It would mean betting that availability and development matter more than star power and jersey sales. Should the Hornets keep waiting for the version of LaMelo Ball who stays healthy long enough to fulfill his potential? Or should they trade him before the rest of the league starts asking the same questions Charlotte has been forced to face? If the Hornets ever decide to pull the trigger and shop LaMelo Ball, it won't be a quiet process. There are already teams across the league that make sense. Franchises looking for a spark, a franchise face, or a shot at something bigger, and the offers will get interesting fast. The first team that comes to mind is the Los Angeles Clippers. They're stuck in a difficult transition. The stars are aging, and the direction of the franchise is unclear. And as of this recording, they're sitting at 5-16 and have just released one of the greatest players in their franchise history, in Chris Paul. The Clippers are in desperate need of a superstar that can reset their identity. At 24 years old, LaMelo fits the timeline the Clippers should be on. With the brand new arena opening, they need a new attraction, a player who can put fans in the seats the same way Blake, CP, and Kawhi once did. And in LA, LaMelo would essentially step into a James Harden type role. The primary ball handler, offensive engine, and a decision maker the team trusts every possession. The only problem is that the Clippers don't have much left to offer after mortgaging their entire future for Paul George. So a realistic trade package starts with John Collins and Derrick Jones Jr., two veterans who give Charlotte instant rotation value. Add in whatever future first-round picks LA has left, plus a young piece like Cam Christie, and suddenly Charlotte has something to think about. Collins brings scoring, Jones Jr. brings elite defense, and together they give the Hornets structure while they continue building around Brandon Miller and Knople.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life. This is ridiculous. This is crazy, man. We went to the NBA Finals. Why are we trading the best player, the franchise player?
The next team that should be monitoring the LaMelo Ball situation is the Dallas Mavericks. After trading their generational star Luka Doncic, the Mavs need a new franchise cornerstone, someone who could grow with Cooper Flag and keep the team competitive. LaMelo Ball would complement the Dallas roster and would be under the tutelage of Jason Kidd, one of the greatest point guards ever. And with Dallas historically being a veteran-led team, plugging LaMelo into that locker room could help accelerate his maturity. There already have been rumors of a 3-team trade proposal that would send Klay Thompson to the Lakers, a mix of young players like Dalton Knecht, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, plus a future first-round pick to Charlotte and LaMelo Ball to Dallas. Surrounding LaMelo with stars like Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, along with number 1 pick Cooper Flag, and the Mavericks look like a team built to win now and later. Multiple reports have even suggested that Dallas is already interested in LaMelo, listing him as a legitimate trade target, but not everyone in the fan base is sold. Some believe bringing in LaMelo could derail Cooper Flag's development, forcing the Mavericks to reshape their offense in a way that puts Flag in a more limited role. And with LaMelo's health concerns, it's understandable why certain fans are hesitant. LaMelo gives Dallas another high-ceiling young star to pair with Cooper Flag for years to come. The last option the Hornets should consider is swapping LaMelo Ball for one of the other disgruntled superstar point guards in Ja Morant or Trae Young. It is not as far-fetched as it sounds. One Western Conference general manager even said, when there are these sort of unwanted superstars, sometimes they end up getting traded for each other, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in this case. And he's right. When you look at it on paper, all 3 guards, Ja, LaMelo, and Trae are in the same situation. They're all around the same salary range, they're all in the same age bracket, and they're all either entering their prime or already in it. And they've all fallen under the media's good graces for one reason or another. Another Eastern Conference executive went further, saying they might all have negative value. Think about that. 3 former franchise cornerstones, each one an all-star, each one advertised as the future face of the league, now being discussed as negative value contracts. In the eyes of the front offices, these star point guards have lost their shine and their leverage. And all 3 of these guys need a fresh scene. And sometimes the only way out is exchanging your superstar problem for someone else's. At the end of the day, LaMelo Ball might be one of the most confusing stars in the entire NBA. A player with all NBA talent, a franchise cornerstone, but to many fans and executives, an unserious professional. He represents both the hope and the frustration of the modern point guard era. He's the kind of player you build a future around, and the kind of player you might have to move on from if that future never shines bright enough. But one thing is clear, Charlotte is facing a decision that will define the next decade of the franchise. So what do you think? Should the Hornets keep waiting for the best version of LaMelo Ball, or is it time to move on from the gifted young guard? Let me know your take in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the support.